So what do you look for in a romantic partner? Well, that's today's topic because there's one quality that sets a person apart, and that's what I'm going to help you with today. But first, my name's Michelle Ferris. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and anger management specialist, and I help people learn how to trust themselves and make relationships that work. So some of you might be thinking the trait is honesty or trust or respect. And while those are really key ingredients to a healthy relationship, there's one that's even more important because it impacts all the others. And that's accountability. That's when somebody is willing to own the impact of their own behavior on somebody else. So instead of looking to find fault in someone else, which is really common these days, or trying to be right, when something happens, they own it. Because when you think about a long-term relationship, or any relationship for that matter, if you can't be accountable for hurting somebody else's feelings, which you will do on occasion unintentionally, if you don't know how to handle that, the relationship is going to get stuck. And sometimes people think they're accountable because they'll say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry if you think I hurt you," or "I'm sorry if." That's not really being fully accountable. Being accountable is naming it specifically. I'm sorry that I was late. I'm sorry that I called you that name. I'm sorry that I yelled at you last night in front of our family. Those are very specific examples of owning somebody's behavior. And let's face it, not a lot of people do this. This quality will set somebody else apart because when somebody isn't afraid to own their mistakes, they have pride, they have integrity, they're able to be honest and trustworthy. But without it, you don't have trust. Because when somebody hurts you and they deny it or they minimize it or they blame you for it, then nothing gets resolved. So that's why accountability is a huge, huge factor in the health of a relationship. So if you're dating, if you're reconsidering your present relationship right now, consider this. Are they accountable? Are you accountable? Because the other aspect of this is that like attracts like. And if we're expecting somebody else to be accountable for their behavior and how they hurt us, we have to be willing to do the same thing. And even though I know this can be hard and this can feel embarrassing at first, I know it did for me for a long time until I started getting in the habit of just naming it and saying, yeah, you know what? I did say that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Let me take it back. Let me repair that. Because that's what builds integrity and that's what will help heal your relationship over the long haul. But when people aren't accountable and they struggle with being right, then you never really resolve the issue. This is incredibly important if there's been affairs, if there's been other distrustful behaviors. Accountability is what is going to help you heal long-term from the relationship. And in the couples I've seen, it's the couples who are willing to be 100% accountable and transparent are the ones that heal. So if you're considering dating right now and you're looking for a life partner, or you're really looking at your own relationship, I would definitely be looking at accountability. And if they're not accountable, then look at yourself. Are you accountable? And is this something you can talk about with your partner? Because a lot of us have not been raised knowing how to do this. I did not learn how to be accountable growing up. I learned to hide and not be honest because I didn't know how to do conflict. But in adults, when we can heal and do our own work, that's the power of it. We can learn how to own our behavior and see it as a strength, not something to hide from or be embarrassed about. Because everybody makes mistakes. So accountability can be an asset in a relationship and in the integrity you have in yourself. So this is also what I talk about in my relationships checklist. That's a free guide. It's going to be linked in this post because if you know the traits to look for in a healthy relationship and you know how to assess your relationships, then you're going to know who to trust and who you might need to distance yourself from. And accountability is a huge part of that. So I really hope you found this helpful. Please hit subscribe and like so more people can see this video. Thanks so much. Bye.